right, Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell here for Morning Combat. The UFC 264, the official weigh-ins are over. Now the ceremonial weigh-ins are over. BC, let's go right to you. Conor making quite literal death threats to Dustin Poirier, who no-sold everything. What did you make of it?
High energy at the very least. I enjoyed it. This arena was on fire. More people here today, certainly than the press conference a day ago in the same building. But it's tough because we've been playing armchair quarterback with McGregor all week, and what the heck do we know? I saw a better intensity, though, today, Friday, the weigh-in from him. Yes, there was some of the same verbiage, if I'm going to kill you. No, literally, you're dead. I'm going to kill you, whatever that means. But I saw a stare down. I saw him carry himself in a way that, at the very least, Luke, here's my takeaway, that Conor's coming to the table to try to win this fight, no question, and he's going to have a better chance on the second one. For whatever excuses you want to say from Conor are constructive or a fake or whatever, I do believe that wasn't the 100% best version of him that we saw in January. Whether it was cardio, whether it was focus, whether it was whatever. I think you'll get a better version this time. But you made an interesting comment. I saw a couple other people tweet the same, is you felt like you saw a little hint of the Ronda Rousey Holly Holm weigh-in, where Ronda was just over the top animated, maybe to cover for like a, hey, is this a closer fight than I realized it's going to be? Did you get a parallel feeling with Conor?
It's just hard to know. Like, there was a couple times the last 2 days I've been, like, what's the difference between what Conor's been doing this week versus other weeks? And people keep saying, oh, it's forced and blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, I agree with that assessment. But you know what it stands to me is that, like, he's making the same, he's doing the same kind of verbal things, but without the humor. It's just angry. It used to be angry and funny, or venomous, but also venomous and funny.
But just right on point, where you're
right
like, you know what, love him or hate him, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, now it's just venomous. And I don't really know what to make of that. Are you on edge because you're worried? Are you on edge because you're just ready to go? It's really hard to say. What I can say is, I thought Dustin Poirier did exactly what he should have done. He made it about everything else but what Conor was doing. He made it about the guy who he was doing his charity for, and he thanked the crowd, boos and cheers and everything else, like totally playing the statesman role. So, like, what do you get from Conor? He made weight. He looked good on the scales. I will say this, to BC's point, a lot more people here this time than they were yesterday. Obviously, that makes a little more sense. It's Friday versus Thursday. But BC, I'll say this. The McGregor faithful are looking for their morphine drip of the Conor McGregor experience. They feed off of that. They're looking for him to do that. They look to be much more jazzed up today than they were yesterday. I feel like their Messiah gave them a little bit more.
There was legit worry, and it wasn't just, us podcasters filling time trying to overanalyze what we saw with Conor. We talked to Conor fans, some straight from Ireland, who were like, you know, of course I'm here to support him, but I got a lot of doubts. I'm not necessarily feeling the same thing. Luke, that confidence I did take away from the standpoint that I feel like this will be the best fight of the three. And you don't need to be a genius to say that. McGregor walked down and finished Poirier quickly in the first one, and the second one had some moments before McGregor imploded and crumbled with the calf kicks. Do you get that same feeling?
I do.
That at the very least, regardless of who you're leaning, we could see at least 3.5 intense two-way action here.
When McGregor, the reason why I'm a little bit hesitant is because I want to give McGregor his due to the best of my abilities. And when he's on, okay, sometimes you get the Aldo 13 seconds, but even then, you get a guy as battle-tested as Eddie Alvarez at 205, and he lasts a little while, but not really. So for those reasons, BC, like, if McGregor is on and firing, no, I don't think it'll be the best one. I think it'll be over relatively quickly. But if these two guys are actually well-matched, which is what I think they're at this point, and it looks like whatever else is going on, McGregor appears to have done his homework. We know Poirier has. I think for those reasons, I'll say this. I have a lot of optimism that there's going to be back and forth. As I mentioned yesterday, I think it was either this show or another one, I had said that, you know, maybe the first time that Joanna fought Rose, she got sparked. But the second time, okay, she may have lost, but that thing went the full distance. And by the way, 2-2 heading into the fifth. So I'm with you. I think there's a lot of reason to believe it could go late, but I have to say, dude, Conor McGregor is just a goddamn mystery. His haters think he is always bad. His supporters will not acknowledge any wrongdoing, any weakness ever. So you don't know what to make of all the bluster in between things at all. It's very confusing.
And even if the legend is gone, meaning he's not the same Mystic Mac,
he's still good.
I don't want to make the Ali comparison, but the only comparison you can get out of that is there were many times Ali was thought to be washed or completely counted out, and he found a way to rally to make a victory that didn't seem plausible in the moment. I still think that McGregor has some of that, meaning even if I think he's going to lose this fight, I think he still has the potential to win another big one, and there are some right matchups where he can definitely win. I just don't feel like Poirier is that opponent for him to unlock that and pull that out. So even if we get the very best of what's left of Conor, I still don't think it's good enough against Dustin Poirier.
I don't know that he has to. Everyone's like, oh, he has to be 2016 or 2015 Conor to win. I don't agree. I think you could actually be less than that and still win if some other factors line up. By the way, I didn't really get to it, but you asked about the weigh-in when he gave him the, you're literally going to die and all this stuff. The reason I had a bit of a Rousey vibe with Holly is that she did the weird, like, I'm not going to face off with you normally, and everyone doesn't understand, she's fake sweet, blah, blah, blah. And it was like this, like, where is this vitriol coming from? Yeah. And then she got waxed. It felt a little bit like that, but I don't.
That was kind of like us on the morning combat set today, where you're like, I thought we were friends and coworkers. Why are you?
Yeah, why are you just unnecessarily knifing me in my eyeball? Okay, but I don't want to overstretch and overstate the comparisons. I don't know what to make of what he said, other than it does seem like the Conor McGregor faithful are more in abundance here, and they're feeling it a little bit more as well. Whether that's delusion or not, I guess we're going to find out on Saturday.
I think Conor's coming in with the same mindset he had against Nate, that he is ready now to go 5 hard rounds and in his mind get to wherever he needs to get in the fight in terms of it being an absolute war and testing every inch of him, and he still feels he can get over the top. So if you're having any doubt on Conor, I think he's going to show us a good performance on Saturday, but I think it goes back to, do I believe it's enough? No. I believe Poirier's just got too many ways to win this fight, and his demeanor has backed that up. His recent history has backed that up. And maybe this is why it's a perfect setup for Conor. Should he win it, we know the risk-reward, but I mean, he's going to be right back to the top of the sport.
Funnily enough, I have to say, people have been asking us, what do you make of what's going to be the crowd situation? Well, again, the Irish have not been able to travel in the same kind of way, so of course there are some Irish here, but not as many as normal. First thing I'd say. Second thing is, the ones who were here was pretty clearly a Conor McGregor crowd. Dustin Poirier got booed, but it didn't rattle him at all. People have been asking us at CBS Sports, hey, what do you make of what's it going to be like when Dustin Poirier is getting booed? Because he didn't get that really in the second fight. Okay, we'll have to see on Fight Night, but so far it has done absolutely nothing to him. He has been a man of his word in terms of what's going to affect him and what's not.
And just like us overreaching, spending too much time on the Conor body language, we can spend too much time on the Poirier body language, meaning he could be completely on point, 100% where you want him, and still succumb to what Conor does best in round 1 of this third fight.
Right.
So that's why the odds are so close, even though us on the inside are like, maybe now is the time to really stop believing in the McGregor magic. The odds makers are still telling you this has potential to be a fun shootout that can go either way.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt about it. All right, anything else from the rest of the fights that we saw? I got to say, co-main event, about what you would think. The Sean O'Malley fans were out in attendance today. I thought he had fallen off is a strong word. I thought that some of the things that had happened around the Chito Vera fight had more of an impact than they did. Online, you can feel it. In attendance, you cannot feel it. The fans here, big-time Sugar Show fans.
And he brought that energy and that presence at the very least, where if this plays out against Chris Martino like we think it could, being a setup for a showcasing knockout to call out bigger names, it seems like the foundation's been built for that.
By the way, hold on real quickly. Shouts to his opponent, Moutinho. Can you imagine being your UFC debut on short notice, and this is the fucking card you have to do it on?
And that's the hair you show up with?
Crazy.
I mean,
and that's,
did you like Greg Hardy's ability to handle being treated as a villain as he walked in?
I know. It's like, I couldn't believe I'm a villain, and then he walks out to like a sea of booze because of course he's a villain. Yeah, he seemed to smile his way through it. Tai Tuivasa didn't really throw it in his face.
Do we never give Hardy enough credit for this? And you can love and hate him, and there's reasons for both ways, but he seems to handle all the fear, the
I don't buy it.
All that.
I don't buy it. I think
false?
he is he has developed coping mechanisms, no doubt about it. I don't think in that sense it bothers him, but do I think that he absolutely wants to be a guy who's adored versus a guy who's popular because he's villainized? Not a doubt in my mind he wants to be that guy, but that's not written in the cards for him.
All right, it's great to have the crowd back, and we stood behind them. So what I mean is I get to see who they really like and don't like. Huge pop for Tai Tuivasa, as you can expect. Huge pop for Nico Price, man.
Dude, the Nico Price-Michel Pereira fight. First of all, the face-off was great. Coming off the scales, he was doing the kip-ups and the whole 9 yards. He total showman.
Oh, Michel, he wants the fans to love him so badly.
Yes, and he views himself as an entertainer.
He would rather be known as the most entertaining fighter than the best of all time.
Yeah, but Nico Price came out and obliged him. Nico Price got a little bit of a pop, but a noticeable one just the same, and they got each other's face.
He got a big one.
Okay, not like Sugar Sean, though.
Okay, no, but my moment of the presser was Yana Kunitskaya stepping up into
getting
Irene
right
Aldana's grill and being like, this is my territory now. This is my space, okay?
Yeah.
MySpace.com.
Missing by 3.5, almost 4 pounds. I can understand why an opponent would want to be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? But, okay, it is what it is. Wow. All right, anything else?
Just throwing F-words.
Just dropping F-bombs, buddy. That's about it, right?
That's about all. I think we nailed it right here. Right?
Well-attended presser. They're putting the lights on, which means it's our time to go.
It means we got to find somebody thick, whoever's left, right?
Yeah, we just got to go at this point. That's Brian Campbell. I'm Luke Thomas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll have more content for you from Fight Night right here in the T-Mobile Arena from Las Vegas, Nevada. Peace.